Welcome back to the bubble, ladies and gentlemen, and a gameplay review, or a replay commentary, whatever you want to call it, of Cossacks 3. And this was a very fun game for several reasons. Number one is that I played a 3v3 together with two of my friends from the Discord channel, Yuzai and Josh as well. And you also know Josh from his own YouTube channel, where he also does Cossacks 3 content, but also a bunch of other games. So feel free to check out his channel as well if you like the kind of content I do. I'm pretty sure that you are going to enjoy his content as well. And also, we had another player from the Discord called Chris. One of the he and Milkman are probably the two best players we have in the Discord. And he was spectating this game, so of course a little bit tense on my end. Don't want to embarrass myself, although I kind of do that on a regular basis on this channel. But it was still so much fun to have a lot of like Discord presence in this game. But I think we can start off by going through the different players and factions that we have in this game, starting off with me in red, starting at the top right or top center, and I will play as France. And then we have Yuzai playing as Turkey. One of these more difficult factions to play because, of course, they can't go up to the 18th century, but they are the better version of Algeria as I see it. They do have the Turkish archers with very good range, and they also have the options to do the heavy sipais, who are very tanky cavalry, but also very difficult with population here because you don't get as much population from your town hall and from your barracks, etc. So you constantly need to do a bunch of dwellings. So let's see how Yuzai deals with that. And then the last but not least in our team, let's see. We have Josh in purple playing as France. And I also play as France. Yes, okay, so we have two French and one Turkey. Cool stuff. And then we can check our opponents. Starting off at the bottom right, we have Tarantul in green playing as Austria. And that's going to be really interesting to see what he's going to go for, because Austria can do the round shears in the barrack, and they can also get fast cavalry already in the 17th century with the Croats, I think. So very interesting faction to keep an eye on. Then we also have Kik playing as Algeria. So the worse version of Turkey, basically. With Algeria, I guess you want to go for pikemen and their Mameluke cavalry, and also you need some kind of firepower from the Merc Center. So possibly like grenadiers or something like that, just to have something that can shoot. And then in the top center, or in the center right, whatever we want to call it, we have Slow Mo playing as Spain. And Spain is also a very interesting faction. Bit slower recruitment time of the 17th century troops, but they are they have a lot of armor, basically. So they are quite sturdy, but take a long time to produce. And I think that's all of the players that we have here. Gone through all 6 of them, so let's just start the game. And as usual, I will try to build as fast as possible to get the market. And I've been trying a lot lately to be smarter with how I place the spawning points from my town halls. Because, of course, the peasants drop off the food at the top side here of the mill. And also they can drop off at the top corner here on the town hall. So set the spawning point close to the top point of the mill. And also with the town halls, make sure to set them so either the peasants go directly to the top corner of the mill or to the top corner of the town hall, because they will go to what is closest to them. And now I will start trading right away, trading iron and coal. I should have traded more coal. That was a misclick because I only trade 4,000 iron so I can start producing. And for some reason I still have a shit ton of coal, which is not great. So I will be a bit unbalanced in my economy right now. I don't know if I'm going to see that, so I will correct it. But I also sold gold because the important thing is now I will try to use all of the minerals and resources I have in the beginning to get 3 town halls, the market, the blacksmith, 2 barracks, and also the academy. you should go work on a mine, my friends. And I have traded so I can afford the academy as well, and I like it. Very neatly packed base, although I have a lot of idle peasants. I did find my second gold mine though, so yes, I sent those peasants off to work on that. And if you look at now where I've set the spawning point, I put all of them here so they will go directly to harvest and also drop off at the beginning here, or at the top corner of the base. But all of them don't go to that spot. But you will still drop off your food here, hopefully. Let's see if we can check that actually. Yes, he actually going to this part. And it's closer than if I would set the spawning point right over here, because then they will need to go a lot further to drop off the food, and all of the time that you can save is important. And fortunately, I was pretty quick on finding all of my gold mines. I just need to build on that gold mine as well, and then I will be off to a pretty decent gold economy. Let's take a look at my teammates actually. We have Yusai here, 2 barracks, 3 town halls. He's got the market up and running. He only has found 1 gold mine yet though. He was not as lucky as me when it comes to finding your gold mines. So hopefully we'll start building on that one quite soon. But we were talking, of course, in the Discord throughout this whole game, me, Yuzai, and Josh. So we were able to like plan our strategies quite a lot. And seeing as Yuzai is going to be the pocket player, he will need to send his troops either to my base or to Josh's to reinforce, because we will be in a much more vulnerable position than he is. And we do not play with... I don't remember if we play with capture, actually. I don't think we were playing with capture or with cannons. No, I don't think we do. I am trying to do that a bit more, though, because it's always good to, like, use the game to its full functionality. Although, you play whatever you want to play. I don't bash anyone. As long as you want to play the game, I'm happy, basically. And now he's found 3 gold mines and found the 4th. Good, so he's building on all of them and also starting to build on 1 iron mine, because they do not cost iron to produce these ones, but it's still important to get iron and coal for, I guess, the stone excavation upgrades. And also the harness. Yes, so we still need it, but if you play Algeria or Turkey, as soon as you've gotten all the upgrades, basically, that you need, then you should start slinging or sending your resources, your coal and your iron, and also gold if possible, to your teammates, because we will make much better use of it going up to the 18th century and things like that. So if you play an Algerian or Turkish faction, make sure that you are aware that you will need to play some kind of a support role. Or you can go early aggression, but still, the minerals will be much more useful in your teammates' hands than just massing up on yours, especially if you go with archers and not the janissaries. Let's take a look at Josh, and he's also building, he's just now getting his academy up and running, but he does have a pretty balanced economy. This storehouse should be placed on the bottom side of the resources here, just to make sure that they drop it off as quickly as possible. But most of the peasants are at the top side of the food field, which means that they will drop off the resources quite quickly, which is great. 27 on gold, Yusai has 17, I have 25. So Josh is actually a bit ahead of me when it comes to gold economy. Great stuff, great stuff. Now let's take a look at our opponents, because they are, at least Tarantul is doing pretty well point-wise, and so is Kick, but Slow-Mo is falling behind a little bit. But Tarantul, first and foremost, he's got the barracks, he's got the first stable up and running, and he is making the dragoons instead of the Croats. Since we're not playing with raids or with capture, then you might as well go with the dragoons, because we're just gonna fill up, just create these formations that's gonna stack on top of each other. Pretty unfortunate with the iron mine positioning here, because it's gonna miss out on a couple of food fields, I think, because it doesn't fill in here. So that's a bit unlucky, of course, and these peasants will drop off food at this mill instead of this one. So he still has a good build there, I guess. But he has found all of his gold mines, just now started building on it, 25 on gold. If we go to Kick, he's also doing pretty well point-wise, the Algerian faction. He is actually making the archers. Interesting choice. Let's see. And there we go, now we can check him. Making the archers, it already started upgrading. I don't know if I would recommend this But I mean, he doesn't need 18th century or anything like that. So you might as well start upgrading. So when you have all the upgrades that you want, the stone upgrades, you also want them. He's already gotten the food and the wood cutting efficiency. Then you can start slinging your resources. He already has a lot of gold, 30 on gold to be exact. So very good gold economy. And what's he gonna make from the Diplo Center? I wonder, could he go round shears and make, like, use the archers in the barrack for firepower? He's already only recruiting from, no, he's recruiting from both. Yeah, and he's making round shears. So, okay, he's trying his best with creating some kind of firepower based with round shears. And you kind of have to do the best with what you got. And if we look at Slow-Mo, who's actually falling a bit behind, but it's difficult playing with only has 2 town halls. Let's see, I need to check on the right player. There we go. Only 2 town halls, yes. And hasn't found all of his mines yet. Looks like, yeah, 1 coal mine short. But he has found all of his gold mines at least, so that's something. And he has gotten that first food efficiency. He got the first stone excavation efficiency instead of going more for food. Interesting stuff. Usually, you might want to... I also usually go for stone as fast as possible, but first after I got all the food efficiency upgrades. Because the first stone excavation upgrade, 1,000 gold, I think, and 3,000 iron. So that's pretty expensive, and you might want to put those resources into the harness instead, first and foremost, because that's pretty expensive as well. Although, it doesn't look like that's too big of a problem. He already has the iron, he has the coal, now it's just the gold that he's waiting for. Don't really like this positioning on the storehouse. The town hall serves some purpose as a storehouse, but you might want to put the one for wood right below here. But he's still using the town halls drop off resources, so it's not all bad. He has some kind of a plan with it here. He just need to build his 3rd town hall, and maybe that's why he has so much coal and iron, because he only went with 2 town halls. He didn't trade these resources for starters. But still, the town halls are super important, especially with peacetime, so you can get your economy rolling as fast as possible. We only have 3 minutes left of peacetime, and we are starting to mass up our troops, getting ready for an assault here. We want to see if anyone is to the right of us, but just to see, like, where are the threats gonna come from, actually. And we also set Yusai to send his troops into my base, so we can start, like, swarming as fast as possible. And basically, since Josh scouted this side of his base, and he saw that he didn't have anyone directly to the south of him, but he would rather have his threats to the bottom right side of the base. So no one at the bottom, directly down, but to the southeast of him. So now we're gonna focus Yusai's troops in my base so we can overwhelm the first player that we're going to attack. I have 4 stables, almost 4 stables, and I'm not going with the King's Musketeers, but rather I'm going with the Dragoons. Because you might be tempted to get the King's Musketeers because they have insane damage, but they also have, I think, a little bit worse range. And they also cost a lot. That's 100 gold per King's Musketeer. So if you play with France and you're going with those instead of the Dragoons, you will get fewer Musketeers. They take almost twice the amount of time to recruit. And also your gold economy will be in shambles pretty early. So you might want to go with the 17th century Dragoons instead and save the King's Musketeers for later, or just disregard them completely and rather go from 17th century Dragoons to the 18th century Dragoons. So you might be a bit tricked there to think that, oh, the King's Musketeers, we should go with them. But just look at that cost. 100 gold and 18-second recruitment time. That is a lot. And in the beginning of the game here, it's important to get not only quality, but also quantity. So that's why I'm going with the 17th century Dragoons. And I also think that Chris agreed on that. My upgrades, I haven't gotten any of the stone excavation upgrades yet, and I'm still missing out on one of the harvesting upgrade, but now I think Josh was the first one into the 18th century, and he also got the balloon right away. Didn't you, Josh? Yes, so now I can just look at this point of view, and I can see everything, and I can also do that by just choosing brown, and then I can't really select anything, but I can still see it all. But peacetime is up. And I have started making formations, and now that we got the full visibility, we see that Spain is in a pretty vulnerable position right now. He is making the Spanish musketeers, and it's difficult because, of course, you should go for ranged, I think, but let's see. But they take, and they also shouldn't have upgraded the defense. I don't think I would recommend that. It's pretty expensive, and also the round shears. He doesn't have a Diplo center, though. Nope, doesn't have a Diplo center, so he doesn't have anything to protect his musketeers. He is making reiters, though. 1, to be exact. So his musketeers will be very, very vulnerable to melee troops and everything like that. Josh is also pop-capped. Really difficult to keep an eye on all of that. Usually somewhere around like 14-15 minutes, you get pop-capped at 600, which is what you get with the 2 barracks and the 3 town halls. So then you need to start making dwellings as fast as possible. But so far, we don't feel too threatened by turquoise or bright blue. So we are going to try to charge him down as soon as possible. But if you look at the Algerian army, that's not a weak one. He is also putting them into formation. Looks like it might be 72 or 196 formations. Let's see. There we go. Actually, some 72, a lot of 36s though. So that was a really good positioning of his troops, make them as concentrated as possible. And we will right away start pushing on Slow-Mo's base. So we can try to push him out as soon as possible. Try to keep the formations as put together as possible. It's also very good for us now, since we don't have artillery, that we will have the Turkish archers helping us to destroy the buildings and the mines and everything that we won't be able to capture and won't be able to destroy with artillery. These game modes, not with artillery, I mean, they are, I both like them and dislike them. And I think Josh would agrees with me on this, because one, it's nice to not having to focus on cannons destroying your stuff, but also with cannons, you don't want to stack your formations like this, because then they will be shot to shit. So that's why it might be nice to play with cannons, because you don't need to click 1,036 formations, for example. But I send my troops in front of the mines now, so that Yuzai can start bringing down these mines without me taking too many casualties from the explosions. And now Spain is coming in. Spain is moving in with his troops, but I think I have a bit too many. They're starting to shoot through the dwellings. But we are also getting outflanked here by Tarantul, who's coming in from the southern side. And this is not good for me at all, because I might feel like I have the advantage here. But because I'm being flanked, I will get shot down pretty quickly, actually. And that's why strategy and tactics are so important in Cossacks 3. So now we had to pull back, because I got shot down pretty efficiently by Tarantul. So that was a great strategic choice by him, actually, to come in from the south there. So I had to reposition my troops, and now we are in a much better position. The Turkish archers also have very, very good range, so they will help out, shooting down everything that they're in range of. And they will be outranging Tarantul's relief force as well. And I think we're gonna be able to see that a little bit now as well. And here we can see the range advantage of the Turkish archers. They are able to shoot down a lot, although they are getting shot as well. But see, these can shoot, and these can't answer. So we have the advantage here, thanks to the Turkish archers. And now Tarantul is repositioning his army, and it looks like we are going to have... I need to start moving in now as well. Will I? Or will I just leave everything to the Turkish archers? Now we're starting to move into position, and soon we'll just be able to completely swarm Tarantul with our armies. But just look at the work the Turkish archers are putting through. Absolutely amazing. Shooting down everything in range, and they get so many more kills than the musketeers from green. But now we get reinforcements here from Algeria as well. And now we see Turkish archers versus Algerian archers. The Turkish archers are in better range. You can see that quite clearly. And now also they're in range from my musketeers. So now this will be a beautiful fight. Who is going to win? There are a lot of Algerian archers here, and we will need to pull back, reposition ourselves a little bit. We do need something with melee that can harass these archers, because now they absolutely shot us down. And just sometimes quantity trumps quality. We are moving back to reposition. I have a lot of reinforcements coming in. I think I'm just gonna stop putting units into formation right now, or we are just repositioning on this hill, start making some more formations, because with the range advantage that we are going to get here, that's going to help us a lot. And now France, Purple France, is invading Algeria's base. A lot of archers here as well, but a lot of round shears on both sides, and it looks like Purple's round shears are going to have the advantage here. But here comes the Mamelukes of Algeria. They are absolute powerhouses. A lot of health, very decent damage, and they will make a good shield, but they are just too few, and the round shears will be able to push into Algerian base, wiping out peasants down at the food field, wiping out the archers at the top, and the peasants need to run away to find a new place to rebuild their base. So great work on Josh there, pushing through. And in the top side, we have some musketeers that Yusai is going to clear out with his light sipais. Doing a great job there. They do not have the any melee capabilities at all. Although it does look like they have swords, right? That they won't use. Or at least they have the little fork that they place their rifles on. But they don't use that in melee. So they will be able to get... they will get... taken out by the Sipais, at least a lot of them, and they will be harassed pretty efficiently. But now the Turkish archers have come in, and they will just be shooting down. You can see here that they are the Turkish archers. They have good range, but they are not that good at shooting mobile targets. And I also see their accuracy is not the best. They miss a lot of arrows, so they are better at shooting on clumped up troops who are standing still. And now the musketeers are standing pretty gosh darn still, so the Turkish archers will be able to shoot them down. And we are moving in yet again into the Spanish base. Just moving in, shooting everything. And just like that, we have both Kick pretty much out of it. But he is sending a countercharge to Josh's base. But I don't think Josh needs to worry about that at all, actually. So red and orange has taken the Spanish base, and purple has taken the Algerian one, and now it's just green left. But Algeria is starting to rebuild, or he hasn't started rebuilding yet, a little bit, a town hall. But he also needs to start getting some resources on. He needs to set up his military building so he can start aiding his allies with some military as well. And we are just an unstoppable flood wave right now, a tsunami of Turkish archers and French infantry and cavalry. Now Tarantul is moving up with his army, but he was a bit too spread out with the Austrian musketeers and the round shears to come to help, and because our round shears came too far. But mercenary round shears will always lose against the barrack round shears, although it does look like it is mercenary round shears that Austria is sending. So we were able to wipe them out together with the superior firepower that we had. Now we just keep pushing, Turkish archers are left behind to destroy the military buildings for slow-mo, while I keep harassing Tarantul. And now I also got the French chasseurs from the 18th century barrack, who have very good range, very good damage, although a little bit slower reload time, I think. But still, if you mass them up, they can become quite good. Not a lot of stuff left for us to destroy in green space here. Kick hasn't given up yet. He's still recruiting some troops, but Josh is keeping his entire base under wraps, and now his mercenary archers are trying to destroy the buildings. But look at that, just 1 damage per fire arrow, because I'm guessing that Algeria has gotten all of the upgrades in his minaret and also in the blacksmith to increase the defense of the buildings, so they will be a lot slower to destroy. And that's also important to make sure that your mines stay up for as long as possible. But Tarantul doesn't have a lot left. I am still not pushing through to his base. I don't really know why. I should push into the bottom right, actually, but for whatever reason, now I'm starting to push into the rest of it. And Yusai just keeps destroying everything that his archers get a hand on. And still, this is also going very slow. Probably they have upgrades there as well, because the buildings take a long time to destroy, and that's why it's good that we have a lot of Turkish archers as well that will just destroy the military buildings, make sure that they don't recuperate their forces, basically. And in the meantime, I am moving in and I am slaughtering the population of both Algeria and Spain and Austria in this base, killing whatever I can. And now it looks like Green might have given up, destroyed a lot of his buildings, down on 0, and has Kick given up as well? Not yet, not yet. But Slow-Mo should probably have given up as well. Although we should see that when his buildings start getting destroyed, because so far it doesn't look like he has given up yet. But probably we'll need to destroy every last piece of his buildings. Okay, now the dwellings started burning, and I'm guessing that that's going to mean a surrender. And now we see the dwellings started burning for Kick as well, and that should be the surrender from our opponents. So no cannons, but a lot of very good teamwork, I must say. This was so much fun. I always love playing with my friends in the Discord, because it makes it so much easier to coordinate, as always, when you're able to communicate in live time, in real time, with your teammates. So all in all, a very fun game. Probably not the most balanced one, but still, it's always fun winning. More fun than losing, that's for sure. But I also hope that you enjoyed the episode. You didn't see too much of... Usually these recordings are first and foremost builds, and then when the battles are starting to rage, it might be more fun to look at the military action. But just look at some of the stats. I have like 5 stables, 2 18th century barracks, and 2 17th century barracks. And that's basically it. But I think Yusai did a great job as Turkey as well. He was slinging some resources to us, I think, throughout the game, and also his Turkish archers were absolutely crucial in destroying buildings, and also you saw the advantage of their range. It's absolutely amazing to see. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and take care. I will see you in the next one.
The Weird Bubble.